and Cameron, I see you have 2 items on the agenda. You want to talk about?
I'll go first. Here to talk about the notice of intent to award for the wastewater treatment plant project. We talked about that back in November when you guys passed the debt authorizing ordinance. No referendum, public notice has expired, and we were able to move forward with approving the notice of intent to award. That is similar to an award of the contract. However, because you're getting a loan from EPA, we have to do an intent to award, and then once EPA signs off on everything and gives you a loan agreement, then we can move forward with actually the award and the notice to proceed. So, does anybody have any questions?
So is this going to give us the 0.8-something% financing?
This will lock us in, yep.
This will lock us in.
Yep. Yep, this is saying to EPA, we're moving forward, please give us a loan, and then they'll go through their underwriting and then send us back a loan agreement, and then after that, you'll accept that loan agreement and move forward from there.
How long does that take?
3-4 weeks, probably. Bids are only good for another week, but the contractors agreed to give us a bid extension, as long as we're moving forward. And then, if I get all the stuff to, EPA tomorrow or Wednesday, then matters on the financial guys, how back up he is, but 2 to 4 weeks is probably the average.
So when would the project?
So we'll probably do a notice to proceed, and actually construct the 2-year construction contract in late February, early March.
Now, when the loan goes up, can you explain to the people again, like, how much it's like projected to increase their bill and when it will possibly happen, so that's some of the concerns I've been asked about?
I don't know what that will be. That's up to the council to do in the future, but that's not decided.
Okay, so because I thought that was projected in the admin meeting video. I only got to see the video, so.
Right. There was an option set out on the table, but nobody's decided a position or a direction to go with.
Okay, so when will
we don't have to start paying the loan back until 2027.
2027 is
That's
when we
when it
have to
starts.
start paying
Yes.
it back.
Right.
Okay, that's
First payment, and then it'll be a 30-year loan.
Okay, so at 2027 is when we're looking at projected increases.
Having to have the revenue to pay for the plant. Yeah.
As having that, okay, so we have some time before we have to increase everyone's bills.
Yes.
Okay, and then we will have a projection of that.
Yep.
Of how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Since there's some questions about this project, I'll allow up to 5 minutes from the audience. If anybody wants to ask Cameron any questions, now's the time. Raise your hand, state your name if you have a question.
I'm Tom Jeffers. My primary concern and question was, I was worried that this might not be going through tonight, and I was concerned about losing the 0.8% interest rate.
Right.
You guys were very helpful when we called over there and talked with you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because I know that we want to get this going and rolling because it has to be done.
Yeah.
Because if we wait, it's just going to cost us more. The one thing that I am a little concerned about, what the projection that you said that they put on the table. Do you remember what that projection was for the increase of the
It
bill?
was about $6.
About $6.
Step
Over, what, 3 years?
It could be
It was a
set
step
in
into
different ways. Yeah.
Okay.
We just plain had, Cameron, $2 in May this year.
Yeah.
And next year goes up $2 again, and then May of the next year, $2 again.
Okay.
If
That's
that's
what
what
the
the
$6
council
is at.
decides to do, yeah.
And with
So
our,
we could start it now?
May 1st, we can go $2 surcharge on the bill, and then May the 1st next year, be $2 more on it, and then May the 3rd year, it'd be $2 more, that'd be the $6, because we had to start making payments in 2027.
2027.
So we'll have money built up to start making our payments.
and that's in addition to the annual 6% increase?
Yes.
Okay. All right, thank you.
No problem. If you were to go out in the bond market and actually try to borrow this money at, 5-6% interest over 30 years with no grant, because you're also getting a $4.8 million grant, it would be $20 to $30 a month per person. So this is a substantial savings just in interest alone on top of the grant.
That's good news. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
What is going to be your max overrun, cost overrun?
So the the loan itself is required to have a 3% contingency, so a 3% amount that we're allowed.
You can't go over that.
It's the council would have to approve any overage over what is approved now. Above, to bite into that 3%, but there's a 3% in the loan set aside if there was a need for something to change, but, I don't see anything foreseeable right now.
Is there anybody gonna be here from Pana that's gonna oversee this as it's going along? Somebody that,
So Kent will be on site every day,
okay,
and his crew, would be city personnel, I guess.
And you guys?
And then we'll be on site, but,
okay.
I don't know who the actual person is yet, specifically.
Yes, sir.
Austin Shred. You said, what, $6 over as a surcharge?
Yes, it'd be $2 May of this year, then the next year it'd be $2 again on top of it. And then the third year it'd be 2 more, that's where they get the $6.
Right, what's the length of that surcharge?
Be over
Till the bill,
30.
till the
30
loan's
years.
paid.
Okay, and then does that surcharge drop off after the 30 years?
That'd
Or
be
is that gonna stay on?
So after 10 years, it'd be a council decision.
Okay.
Because the 6% per year catches up. At a certain point, your loan's kind of even and your rate increase at that 6% catches up to you. But after that, it's a council decision on whether it stays or goes, or there's other things to spend money on, or.
So, I'm sorry, Matt?
Yeah, go ahead.
So there's, at the 6% increase and the $2 surcharge, at some point will meet as far as the projected increment of increase over the 30-year period of time. So at some point, the 6% annual increase will possibly be sufficient to where the $2 surcharge would not apply.
Yes, it's possible.
Okay.
Depending on what inflation and.
Now, you said that'd probably be around 10 years, you think?
Yeah, 10 years is where I stopped projecting,
Okay.
but we were getting pretty close to that time frame.
All right.
But I'm also assuming an inflation rate, and I'm assuming chemical costs and all sorts of things. There's a lot of variables, so.
All right, well, that's good. I think that it clarifies a whole lot for a lot of people.
Perfect. Any further questions for Cameron?
How did we obtain the grant, the $4 million grant?
So that is principal forgiveness through.
How did we obtain it? Who got
So-
that for us?
Illinois EPA. We applied for an Illinois EPA loan, and they have a principal forgiveness program where the city is able to qualify for a certain percentage of the loan amount, and that loan amount, that principal forgiveness is capped at 4.8 million this year. Last year was 5 million. Next year, I'm assuming it'll be closer to 4.5 million. The program's getting bigger. The dollars amount are getting smaller. So.
Okay.
It's 30%, isn't it?
Yeah, 30%.
Does anybody up here have any questions for Cameron? Okay, what do we want to do?
I'll make a motion to approve the contract for Gunlow Construction.
Second.
Now, is this just the first reading or just to approve?
This is.
Okay, got a second? Any questions else? Okay, take it to a vote.
Eddie,
Yes.
Stevens,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Garrett,
Yes.
Beeson,
Yes.
Chrysler,
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cameron.